Hi everyone, I'm Christine Josti of Mail Something Pretty, and I have this really nice kind of masculine card. I have two versions to show you. It's a type of gatefold card. It just opens up like that. Nothing too advanced or hard, but it's just kind of classy, which it's funny because it's called Classic Wedding is the stamp set that I'm using to make this really kind of cool card. This one I just put the cheers on top. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So the stamp set, there's actually a bundle and it is available online. It's called Classic Wedding and it comes with, I kind of divided it because this is what I'm going to use today, but with all of these dies. So you can decorate your car, you know, it was intended as a wedding car. So you can kind of make, you know, the flowers or the, excuse me, like the beer cans or the soda cans at the end, or there's flowers you can add. You kind of create like a little wreath, and there's a the different banners. So it's kind of fun, but it's always good to turn something into more than what it's designed for, which is why we're doing kind of a masculine, whether it be a birthday, Father's Day, retirement, hello, thank you, just more of a masculine card. So that's what we're going to do today. So let me put those over here. Here are my measurements. We're going to start with our base. And this color is kind of a cool color. It's called Secret Sea. Here's the ink pad. So it's dark. It kind of changes depending on what you have it paired with. So for this card, we have it paired with gray, so it has more of a gray tone. But if you pair it with more blues, it has more of a blue tone. So it's kind of a cool color. So this is what we're going to do our base. And we are just going to cut that right in half this way. So we're going to cut it right on the 4 1/4. So there's two bases, so I'm going to put one aside for later. And then we're going to score it. And so this side is going to get scored at 2 3/4. And you can either just flip this around, usually what I do, and score it again at 2 3/4. Or if you just wanted to do it kind of, you know, the first 2 3/4, and then you can go over here at 8 1/4 and score it there. And that's it for the scored. And these just get folded this way and this way. So you have that kind of landscape gatefold card. All right, so that's what we did there. And so then for our panels, I did already cut them. Figured sometimes it's easier just to have things cut for you. You're watching the video, but I'll go through what I did. So the inside is just, because it ends up being, you know, the standard card size. So this is 5 1/4 by 4. And then the front two panels, I decided only to do like one layer, but you can certainly do multiple layers. So my layers here and here. So these are 2 1/2 by 4. Each of them are 2 1/2 by 4. But again, if you want to do a layer underneath or a layer on top, you could just kind of play with the measurements there. This paper, and actually I was using more of this print for my cards. This was a club class card, and I actually ended up using all of that. So I'm going to use for this example a different pattern, but just so you know where it comes from, it's called Botanical Textures, and it's all black and white. So a lot of it's floral, but a lot of the back sides just kind of have just kind of like a watercolor-ish background, but it's kind of fun. You know, some people really love the black and white, so it's a nice one. So just wanted to show you, it's kind of not necessarily a masculine paper pack, but I'm using it that way. All right, and then this is just basic gray, and I did already emboss it with my plaid embossing folder. So you could use two of the same patterns, or you could use solids, or so I ended up just breaking it up a pattern and then a solid, but with embossing. And oh, that's not it for cutting. It's a little bit more. So the mount for our car, I did in the same color as our base. And so that is 3.5 by 3. So 3.5 by 3. And then I ended up using white underneath. And I did one of those skinny little borders. So that is 3 5/8 by 3 1/8. But if you wanted kind of more of a normal size border, you could do 3 3/4 by 3 1/4. You could just add a 1/4 inch rather than 1/8 of an inch. So that's it, except, nope, one more. I added, because I had some extra strips, so I ended up just adding a strip of the same pattern on the inside. And so that's 3/4 by 4. So I'll just hold that up. I don't think I put the little strip on there, but I'll just hold that up there in case you want to take a screenshot of it. And I had seen a similar card online, and so I kind of copied it, and that's what we do, right? That's why you're watching this, to copy it. It was by Brian King, and he used different papers, and I forget what else was different, but besides the colors. But that's where I got my idea from. Okay, so let's get, actually we'll get stamping. We'll leave the layers here for now. We will get stamping. So I'm going to, here, I'll use this so you can actually see what I'm doing. This is just kind of a scrap piece of paper. And so the stamps are kind of large. So this is on a E block. So they are kind of big. If you had a Stamparatus or that type of machine, you certainly could use that. Or you could use a larger block, but it is kind of, here's my hand, so it is on the larger size. So I'm using, put that there. I think you can see everything. I am going to use, for the outline of the car, I'm going to use a Secret C, because that's the color we're using in our card. You can certainly use black. A lot of outlines of the cards on black, but you don't have to. You can emboss it. You can do all sorts of things. So I'm just going to stamp it like that. And it's really nice line art. I think they did a nice job with it. I was gonna close it so I wouldn't do that. Oh, I don't think I have anything up here. I'm just gonna rub it till it doesn't mark anymore. Okay. And now for the filler. So to get this, it was fun at club. They're like, how did you do that? Get all the different coloration. And I said, oh, it's really, really, really hard. I was kind of pulling their leg. So it's the stamp does all the work. So I'm going to use basic gray for my filler. Here it is. It's one of those distinctive stamps. So the coloration and the pattern, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of all in there. So all you have to do is ink it. That's as hard as it gets. All right. And so I should have showed you before. There's two taillights, and then there's two taillights here. If you kind of match those up, it really helps you get in alignment. I need to move it a little closer to my face, and then I'll show you in case my head goes in there. I'll lift it up. Hopefully you can see. So you can kind of see through, you're just kind of looking through that section so you can see the section underneath, and then the whole thing kind of aligns up. Like that. So all that coloration, it's all done for you. So what I like to do for the back window is I'm going to use Pool Party. And I'm going to stamp off first and then stamp, because I think, and I'll show you, like this, it's a little bit, oh, I missed some of that window. It's a little bit too dark. So then when I go to stamp, I'm going to have to put my head in the way. It's really light, but it does have a little color versus the white. And I think it just gives it a little, it just needs that little something. So you can kind of hopefully see, it's just like a little reflection of the, what's going on as they drive away. And this will be cut off, so don't worry about that. And you could, I like pool party. I'm trying to think, I guess you could try other colors, but. All right, and for the tires, and this is like little stamp, you just want to make sure that the rounded part is on the bottom to mimic the rounded of the tire. I'm just using black. So it just fills in. And again, it has a little bit of the coloration, so it's just not a solid, it's just not solid black. And that's it for the stamping. So we're going to cut it out. And for our examples here, I have a chrome bumper. I have a chrome outline to the window and a little lift gate. But if you didn't want to cut out, or you only have the stamp set without the dies, but I really do think that you need kind of the dies to go with the stamp set because there's so many accessories, you can, for this one, I just colored in with a blends marker, a gray smoky slate, I think, marker in here too. So that works just as well. One just has a little shine and one is just kind of solid matte. So you can do that. This one, I did the outline in gold embossing powder, and then I just stamped that same gray onto gray paper, and I haven't cut it out yet, but it kind of gives a cool effect. So you really can kind of play with it and get different looks. It's not, you would think you're just getting one look, but you're not. For Christmas time, I did one car in black, and then I decorated it with, let's see, now I forget which one. I think I just did like cheers with holly or something Christmassy. And I did another one, I did a red car and I made a wreath on the back and it looked really cool. So again, you're not limited. Okay, so I just didn't want to forget to show you that stuff. So let me get my machine up here. I'm gonna do some cutting. And we're gonna cut actually a few things at the same time. We're going to cut the car, put that on there, but we're also going to cut some of the accessories. So I have some silver foil here. Take that off. And I have, you'll see in a second, a little red. And so that's going to be for the tail lights. I think that's all I needed. Where did I move? I had the dies. Here they are. So I kept what I needed separate. So we're gonna align this up, and this aligns pretty easy. And then our bumper is just gonna go on the silver foil. And then this piece has the outline of the window. It also has chrome for the tail lights and that tail gate or like trunk. And then this little piece, which I have lost in the past, but it's been found, are the little brake lights. But as you can see, you can kind of make a nice pattern out of them. Like if I was doing them on an alignment, it would be kind of cool. And that's it for cutting. Here's our car. You could, it's a nice size. Like my son was, when he was little, he wasn't into cars. He is now. He's more into the construction trucks and trains. But you could make like a cool banner, maybe for maybe not a kid with this style car, but certainly an adult. You could kind of make a banner. Here's our bumper. And these are, actually I'm gonna hold this up for a second. So you get the window, and you get the pieces that go in the window. So you could use these pieces for your window, but if you did a different color, but I'm just gonna use, we'll see, he has to be here somewhere. That's one of the pieces of the tail light. The other piece fell off here somewhere. I'll find it. And then the two pieces, I'm gonna leave those in there. All right, let's see. I want that one. I want that one. Oh, here they are. I knew I'd find them. That other piece, and then that for the lift. Okay, so these pieces, again, I don't need them, but that you can use them for the window. Maybe if you did, I would think a different color than what you did for the outline. All right, put all those there so I don't lose them. So now we're just gonna glue that together. So I'm just gonna put some glue right on the bumper itself, or on the paper, and then just add this. I think it's easier, less sticky than putting the glue on the long strip. Same thing with these. I'm just gonna add a little glue here, like little glue here. I'm actually gonna use my tweezers to pick them up. So there is a curvedness to it, so it doesn't matter which side you use, just know that there's a little curve. And then this piece, actually I'm just gonna put the tiny bits of glue. The adhesive sheets, excuse me, these adhesive sheets would work really well with that. But if you just use little bits of glue in the corners, that works too. All right, so there you go. So, oh, well, I'll do the other part in a second. So you can leave it just like that, but I do think the red part of this tail light really adds to it. And I think I have one up here with and one without, so we'll show you once these are put together. Again, I'm just gonna add a little glue on top, and it is a little slippery at the moment because it hasn't dried. It's because of the foil paper is a little slippery. Oops. Tweezers definitely help. And there's a little bit of a curve here too, so you'll see as you put them together. That foil is slippery. So every time I go to lift up, there we go. So this will take a few seconds to dry, a little bit longer than it would if it was just cardstock. But the chrome underneath just gives that extra little detail, in the red brake lights really make it pop. Like I said, I'll have to add them to this because I had lost that little piece. So I just put this together without it, but I will add it because I really do think it helps. So now you have a choice. So if you didn't want any words on the top, or yeah, on top of the car, I would just add that bar, you know, for the lift. Or if you wanted to stamp cheers and put that, then I wouldn't even bother with that because it's going to get covered. So you have options. And that's kind of where you put for the wedding card. If you're doing a wedding card, there's like the just married fits in this banner. And then that fits like right there really nicely. So I think I will, since I don't know who I need this for at the moment, rather than put cheers on there, I can always stamp cheers on the inside later. Just gonna add my little bar here. Make sure it's straight. Okay, I'm gonna set that aside to dry, and let's put the rest of our card together. So we already have our base. I'll start from the inside out. So I have my inside, and I have that little strip. I'm going to add it's going to go in here. Oh, well, that's all right. That looks like there's a little red on there. Oh, no, it's actually probably the blue from my finger, but my message will get written right on top of there. No one will know. Be careful where I press. Okay. And then these two, I did intentionally for the clubs to show that it didn't matter. I had the pattern on the left side for one card, but I put it on the right side for the other. Oops. So it really doesn't matter which side you do. I can do like that, or I could do this or this. Since I haven't used this pattern yet, I do like that pattern, but not for this card. And there's, I don't want to say right side or wrong side, but there's, you know, just pay attention to how you want your plaid to be. You want it to go. Oh. I'm actually going to do the opposite that I usually do, and then I'll show you both. And then these two just get glued together. And this is with that skinny border. Again, you can make your border however you want, but I did this skinny because I didn't want too much of this to be, because it would have been a little bit wider on the top and bottom. So I wanted you to see what was behind. All right, and so then now our car is going to get put on top. So you can either glue it flat. This one's glued flat, this one's popped up. Doesn't really matter. I'll pop it up. Fits in there nicely. So when we're going to attach this, you don't want to attach the whole thing because then you can't open the cards. You only want to attach it on this side. So what I usually flip it over this way, and you can either add glue or dimensionals. I'm just going to add 3 dimensionals. And then that just gets added there. So when you open it, it goes like that. And then if you wanted to, I know it's a masculine card, but sometimes the gems help. So this one I have some here, and they kind of mimic the polka dots on the paper. This one I forgot to do, or maybe I intentionally didn't do it. So you can have either, but I will add, there's 2 different, what are these called? These are called Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. So there you go. So those are the 2 colors. So one's a little lighter than the other. So I'm thinking, I just think they kind of look like chrome. I think I'm going to add the darker ones on this one. It's just because of the paper. Lightly put that there. Let's see if I keep it there. Yeah, I'll keep it there. Oh, maybe I should want. Nope, that's done. Okay. It's just a little extra something. So this again could be a thank you. It could be a happy birthday. It could be retirement. It could be Father's Day. You could turn it into a wedding. Actually, one of the people in club did, and she added some hearts, because I don't know if I'd necessarily pick these colors for a wedding, but you certainly can. Certainly the dark car, like the limousine, So you have a little bit, or you do have some flexibility. So let me show you again. So this is the stamp set called Classic Wedding. The words say, cheers, congratulations to the happy couple on your wedding day and just married. So the words are certainly wedding, except for cheers, you can use for other reasons. You can turn this into a wreath. That's what I did. So you have this die, so you could make one going this way, one going this way, or just kind of add them around. These could be soda cans or beer cans, confetti hearts. So, and then you have also some roses, some extra hearts, some extra flowers, some triangles. Oh, that goes with the, you can put them on top of the banner so you can make multiple colors. So there's some flexibility in it, and I like it. So it's not in the paper catalog, but it's in the online store. So it's called Classic Wedding. So I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Be sure to click the bell so you get notified whenever to subscribe so you get notified whenever I go live. I now go live on YouTube every Tuesday, or when I upload a video such as this. So definitely write things in the comments and I'll get back to you as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Christine Josty of Mail Something Pretty, and have a great day.